Botha, thank you so much for spending a few moments with me to talk about your experiences as a Death Trooper. Now, I'm a cosplayer, Death Trooper cosplayer, but you are an actual official Death Trooper in Rogue One. Like, how was that?
Oh, it was crazy. I never expected to be in an actual Star Wars movie. It was such a big surprise to me because obviously when I did the audition, or when I was called up for an audition, I didn't even know it was for Star Wars. So it was all like really hush hush, very secretive and everything. So the only time we all found out it was Star Wars is when they first took us into the costume rooms, and everyone saw the costumes and everything and went mad to see it's Star Wars.
Yeah, just talk us through that. The first time you saw the costume, like, what was your opinion on it? What did you make of it? Did it look like it was going to be something that was actually wearable?
Well, probably not. Because you see the stuff hanging up there. I didn't know I was going to be a Death Trooper, and when they first asked us who wanted to try it on first, so I put my hand up first and said I'll give it a go, and I was the first one in it. So when I saw it hanging up there, it was so many different parts of it, and you've got, like you know yourself, you've got all the parts going on, you've got the Under Armour going on. So yeah, it was crazy. The first time we fit it on probably took us about 45 minutes to an hour to get all the pieces on, and you got someone there doing it all for you as well. So yeah, it's mad.
So what was it? Because we 3D print ours. That's what we make ours from. What was that armor made from that you actually wore in the movie?
I couldn't tell you what it was made of exactly, but all I can say is just like a hard kind of plastic, So it's really hard. It digs in everywhere, and it's not very bendable either. So even the arm pieces, the bicep pieces, and all that, as soon as it goes on, there's no give in it, or like you want to say, it digs into your skin and everything. So it's very hard plastic.
So you must have done like a test fitting with the armor. Did they fit the armor to you, or did you have to fit their armor?
They had some made up already. So I think there was some, because we all had to be 6'4", obviously, or above. So some guys was a bit more stockier than other ones. I was picked because I was quite skinny and tall. So that's what I wanted, really, skinnier people. And I think they only had about 3 sets there when I first went there. But then obviously when we went, when the movie started shooting, they had, I think, seven sets there. Yeah. So they made a few more, because the guys that shot, when we first started shooting in the UK, there was 6 of us, but there was more stunt guys, professional, proper stunt guys, and only 2 or 3 of us were not stunt guys. And then when we went to Iceland again, it was all different people again. So some of the stunt guys are a bit more musclier than other ones. So it was difficult to fit on some of them.
Yeah. So I'm presuming you had somebody to dress you, particularly that first time.
Yeah.
So who dressed you?
It's the costume guys. So every single one of us had his own costume guy, and every time you went in there, they will help you put it on and everything. And then, probably the first week of the movie, it was difficult getting it on and off, but then after a while you start getting used to it, and when you take it off, it's the easy part. You just chuck everything off and throw it off. You just want to get out of it to get comfortable again. The bad thing was we had to, because when we put it on, we start our work day would start at 6 o'clock in the morning, so we would get dressed into it, and you won't get out of it again until 6 o'clock in the evening.
So you had to stood for that whole length of time?
Yeah, you had to wear it the whole time because you never knew when the director was going to call you next. So some days you'll just sit there in the armor and you won't even do anything.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that we find is if we're doing a long day troop, the Death Trooper, it takes you so long to get in it that you're in it for the day.
Yeah,
you've made a commitment for your day. That was one of the things that we certainly found. I'd love to
Yeah,
talk you
it's
through.
difficult to even sit down or move, isn't it? So sometimes standing up is a bit more comfortable, actually.
Yeah,
Actually, so
yeah.
yeah,
I want to talk you through just some of the problems that we have. I'd love to know if you had the same problem. So this is my thigh armor.
yeah,
This V.
yeah.
How much of a nightmare was that for you guys?
Oh, it digs in everywhere, doesn't it? Oh, especially when we were doing a scene on Scarif Island, jumping off the aircraft ramp into the water, and then we had to run across the beach and do the assault. And that was digging in everywhere. And the thing is, when you have it on, the V is supposed to face forward, obviously, and when you're running, it twists the whole time, so it goes off to the side, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what we had to. There's nothing they could do about it, really. It just did it all the time, and after every take, you had to just twist it back.
Did yours ever snap off?
I don't think mine snapped off, but I think one of the stunt guys, it snapped off when he went into the kneeling position to shoot, in the shooting position. Yeah. I think he snapped off on the beach, but I don't think mine snapped off.
I think the first few troops I did, mine did snap off, and I glued it on. In the end, I ended up using some industrial glue that a friend of mine brought from some warehouse. I mean, I couldn't even tell you what it was. It was like an epoxy that you had to mix together, and now it's never come off. But that is one of the ongoing issues that many of us had. So I didn't know if that was a problem that you guys had.
Yeah, I can't remember or recall that it's ever broken off. But if it did come off, it would have been the same thing. Probably the glues come off and the whole thing came off, and then I had to put it back on. I wouldn't think that it would have snapped, really.
There's one shot that I noticed where it looks to me like you guys have got what I call cable ties, holding the shin armor together, black cable tie, because there's just a couple of shots where there's an extra line going around here that's not anywhere else, and it looks like a cable tie that's holding that shin in one piece.
It's been a while now, but as far as I can recall, I think it might have been the side arm. You know, the side arm.
Yeah.
They might have been holding that in because it was flapping around all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't, maybe it's on that per day. I'm not 100% sure.
To be honest, that would be a genius solution to a problem that we all have while we're trooping. Your side arm is just all over the place, and it just swings. If you walk too quick, it just swings, which would have been a problem for you when running around Scarif, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So one of the things that visibility, nightmare.
Oh, no, nothing.
we have spotters that check if we're going to trip up. You guys clearly don't have spotters because you're running full steam ahead.
That's it.
Did anybody ever go down? Anybody ever crash?
Oh yeah, for sure. Even mostly in the studios, because I was in the British Army, like everyone knows before, and the motto in the army is you always go in first, volunteer for everything, and get in there first. So when it was to put on the armor first, I was the first one. The first scene it was shot, I put my hand up first to go in, and the first scene was actually in this control room where we escort Krennic in, and it's up a set of stairs. And I was probably there at the studios I got dressed and everything, and I was in the studio there for 20 minutes, and we got called up. And I've never seen a movie set. I've never been on a set or nothing, so I was really nervous anyway. And then they made us walk up this bloody set of stairs, and it was dark. The stairs was made out of black tiles, like marble tiles and everything. So it was dark there anyway, and you couldn't see anything there. And then we were escorting him in, Krennic, and probably the first 2 or 3 takes, both of us who was escorting him in tripped over the stairs, and it was a reshooting after that. But after a while, you get used to it, and because even because you can't bend your legs or lift your legs properly up, you have to get used to that movement as well, So. So yeah, it was tricky. Even after every shot as well, they wanted it so shiny, that floor. So it was shiny and black. after every shot, there's guys sweeping it, polishing it up every time, so it's a nice clean floor. And that was probably really difficult, especially because the visor is obviously dark green as well, so it's dark anyway.
Yeah. It's. I mean, trying to navigate a space in it is an absolute nightmare. Trying to walk stairs. Look, you need a rail. You need to hold on. You're going to go down if not. I remember one of my first troops for the UK Garrison. I was doing. We had to walk down some stairs in front of everybody, following Vader. It was at the Science Museum in Leicester, and oh my gosh, my heart was in my mouth. I thought, if I put one foot wrong right now, we're at the bottom, and this kit that I've just built, it's bust. It's
and that's live, you don't get a retake on that.
No. Tell me, what state was the armor in after filming? Like, what state was it in? Was it ever going to be usable again?
Probably would be, but guys have asked me before how we got our thigh bits on and how it was kept on and everything. And if you look at there's one shot where on Scarif, that's all over the internet when we're running through the water, and the guy who's running there in the front, we're almost like in a V formation. He's running in the front, and if you look closely to his thigh bits and everything, it's falling off and it's all loose and everything, and that happened every time we were running. There wasn't much damage to it, but straps obviously come off. The thigh bits we were holding it on, it had like these popper things in the back, but it's not the ones you get on clothing or something like that. It's like a metal popper that goes into a hole, and they were coming off all the time. And they had to be replaced as well.
So those poppers were at the back. So our straps are at the front. Was yours strapped all together, held together at the back?
Yeah. So the calf bits, like the calf, like at the bottom of your legs, on the back of your calf, they would be folding. You'll fold over, and there'll be a popper holding them two together. And the bottom, I believe, at the bottom where your ankle was of the armor, it was almost like there was like a ring bracelet kind of thing at the bottom. It was almost like not metal, but maybe a soft metal, because it's to keep it sturdy around your ankle and quite tight.
Yeah.
So it's a bendable metal that will open up, and when you close it, like a bendable, flexible one, when you close it, it will stay there.
Yeah, so ours are 3D. We have a 3D printed one, which probably is nowhere near as flexible of what you're describing there at all. Yeah. Was there any problems during filming where there was a problem with the outfit and you were making modifications as you went along? Were there any changes made to it?
They must have. I think I can't remember if it was the abdominal piece. There was something, I can't really recall it, but I know there was something with the abdominal piece that we did, but I can't remember what it was. But we probably did quite a few bits, but I can't remember what it was exactly.
Yeah.
But there was always adjustments and everywhere here and there. But like I said, I didn't have loads because I was skinny and I fitted into it easily.
Yeah.
It was more of the stunt guys. Yeah, they had to get stuff done all the time.
What kind of stuff do you remember what kind of issues they were having? It's quite affirming to hear that they had issues, because we're having issues all the time, and we're kind of making additions. And I was the first in the UK Garrison to clear, so in many ways I've got more issues because as we've gone along, we've resolved them, and new guys clearing and made alterations to their kits.
Yeah. I can't. Well, it's more like stuff that probably just didn't fit properly, and I had to adjust elastic bands and make them longer and stuff like that, so it fits better and it's a bit looser. It wasn't really, stuff weren't really breaking or as such, and the only thing I could can say that was breaking was the thigh bits and the calf bits, and that was it really.
Yeah. What's your memory now? Do you remember all the pinching? Do you remember the problems, or do you look back with joy on your time wearing that armor?
I think at the beginning it probably wasn't joy, but at the end, you think I've endured all this hardship and it's a good thing. When I first saw that movie for the first time, it was only good memories. So, but that first week was actually every night you come home, you go and sit in a bath of Epsom salts and stuff, and and try and get your muscles to relax because
Yeah.
it's every single day. But then, luckily, after a week or two, we were standing outside. I remember the very first day, um, we were standing outside, and four of us were actually ex-military anyway. And we were saying we've never felt this in our life before, having all this uncomfortableness and everything. And we were just standing around all day and not sitting, and just, oh, I know when I came home, it was all red everywhere on my back of my arms and back of my legs. So, yeah, but now I look back on it and I can see the experience I've had. I've seen famous people. I've been to Iceland shooting in islands of Iceland. And I would never have thought I would consign a photo and people would pay for me for it. So
Well, exactly. I
it's
mean,
good.
is that on you?
That's me. Yes.
You've got to look
Yeah.
at yourself in that and say that's pretty badass.
Exactly.
That
That's
that
you can't look back and see the
no,
bad things. Yeah, you see that, and all the bad things disappear.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
when you were filming in Iceland and you got that scene between Galen Erso and Krennic, and you walk on the flats, why you landed that ship so far away from where Galen live, I have no idea. I mean, park closer. You go to the supermarket, you choose the closest bay. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not going to criticize, but you could have definitely got closer and saved a bit of walking there. In that whole conversation, could you hear what the actors were saying?
Not really, because when you see it in a movie, it looks all calm and you can't even see the rain. And it was raining sideways,
Mm.
while we were there doing that scene. We were soaked all the way through. It was freezing cold. And even the site where we landed, where we're supposed to land, where we supposedly landed, and the site where he confronted, where Krennic confronted him, there was two totally different places. There's probably about 5 or 6 kilometers or miles away from each other. So we did it all different times and different places, and we didn't even know the order of the shoot or whatever. So we were just
Yeah,
doing what we were told. But yeah, that was really cold. We had no buildings to go into, no heating or nothing. And that was the worst, but because you were wet, and when the water gets inside, um, it stays there.
mm.
It was only these big vans we got to sit in, and they would sometimes crank the heat up.
Mm.
And once again, when the director asked for a death trooper, no one wants to come out of the warm vehicle.
Yeah. The
So
just think about a couple of questions about the Scarifs, not Scarif, the beginning scene where you've landed and you're going to see Galen Erso.
yeah,
I love the Death Trooper chatter. The
yeah,
noise that it makes. I mean, I'm presuming none of that was there. You had no idea what
yeah,
noise
that's
they were
it.
going to make.
No one. I didn't even know what noises we were going to make in a film or not. So yeah, we were just standing there doing nothing, and he will tell us to look in a direction or point in the direction, and that was it.
Mm.
Our rifles didn't even make a sound, So on the Scarif scene, we would make our own. Some guys would go in there making their own bang 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 noises just to like get into it.
Yeah,
And yeah, but no noises at all. It's weird.
yeah. Did anything change? There's lots of stories out there about how the end of the movie changed. But was there anything that you filmed that you were particularly proud of that didn't make it into the movie?
um, I wouldn't say no, because I was basically in all the scenes, and the only scene I think that changed was the end scene where all the Death Troopers die. I think that one changed because the in the original one we had these bombs we shoot out of our um, rifles, and it was supposed to be like a sticky grenade kind of thing. And I
Mm.
can't remember I don't know the guy's name with the long hair and looks like he's got a Hoover on his back and he
Yeah,
shoots. I don't know, I can't remember his name, but he was the last one alive from the rebels. And then one of us shoots the sticky grenade onto him, and then he explodes.
wow.
That's how how he dies, but he actually the grenade is stuck onto him and then he runs towards us and he kills us all.
Yeah.
But then now in the film, a Death Trooper has a grenade in his hand and he just falls over and the grenade falls on the ground.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they changed that, but I thought that other one was cooler.
Yeah. I mean, I love the E11, the blaster E11D that
Yeah.
which we have, which you had first, then we copied. The thought that it could fire sticky hand grenades is just genius. I love it. I want one. Wait, when I tell the guys that, that's a pretty. I love that. I love that little alteration though. Yeah. Okay, just the last couple of things because I'm taking your family time.
No, it's cool.
Is there anything you look back on with the armor other than the pinchers that you think it'd be helpful for us to be aware of as costumers? You know, we turn up at events dressed as the character you played, and it's actually it's those images predominantly of you that we end up copying because they're such good photos. But is there anything that you think will be helpful for us in our kind of costuming that would be, helpful information?
I don't know. The only thing I don't know how you guys hold everything up, and do you use braces, that kind of stuff, But if
tell us, did you have braces? Is that what you guys were using?
Yeah, we had braces that went up from I think the crotch piece, and there was braces going up, holding that all up, and then there was straps going from the crotch bit down to the leg bits, and so I think that the top leg bits were held on by straps, and then the bottom ones were just separate by the calves. So that kind of stuff, And what else is there? I can't think of anything else.
The straps that come over the shoulder with the big buckles on.
Yeah.
Was that magnet or was that held by bolts?
We didn't have any magnets. There was no magnets involved.
Because I'm just wondering how, because the top armor is basically like a clamshell, the back and the front come in, and then the strap that comes over that hides the joint, just like we magnetize it, put some magnets to hold it on. Okay. Was that all like permanently attached?
Our one was, as I recall, all one piece.
So how did you get in it?
So we didn't get into it. The side opened, and then we went in from the side, and you had to get in that way.
Yeah.
So I think, and the shoulder bit, one of the shoulder bits could open.
Yeah.
And then it folds over the top again. So that's why you got in from the side. You didn't actually put it in from the top.
Oh, interesting.
So because like I say, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But that's how I remember getting into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't put it on like a shirt, getting into it. You went in from the side, and the whole side opened.
So we have somebody who, I would normally hold the back piece, and then my armourer would come and bring the front piece in.
Yeah.
So it just kind of fits together like that.
I'll have to look at it again because there's loads of stuff I can't remember 100% anymore.
Yeah.
But so if I look at it again, and even if I see one of your guys' armor, how actually how you put it on part or part by part, and then I would recall stuff, I guess, because it's been 4 or 5 years now.
5 years now, yeah.
It's the last time I've actually put on armor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Just one purely from one of the things that I get. I put my thighs on first, then I put my boots on, and then I'd put the thighs on. So shins, boots, and then my thighs. Did you put them on in the same order? Because I know some of the guys seem to be.
Well, because we had someone doing it for us, we got dressed from the top again. So when you need to put your shoes on, you don't need to bend over to put it on. Someone was putting it on for us.
So you started. So the top went on first.
Yeah.
Then the belly.
I guess the crotch bit and all that. That went on first, and then that had to go over the top. But we didn't do our legs. Our legs was always last.
Oh, interesting. So that's where we start.
Yeah, because they put it on for us, so we didn't have to bend over and do anything.
Oh, interesting.
But if we had to do it ourselves, I would imagine we would start there as well, because you can't bend down or anything to reach it, is it?
No, once you've once you've put that top bit on, you're stuffed. Like you are upright and you're in it. I mean, it is a giant girdle. Yeah. Victor, thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. Just love hearing your memories of that kit. We love dressing as a Death Trooper. We absolutely adore it. Kids love it. Adults love it. Where are you doing any? Are you going anywhere this year? Is there anything that you are going to where people can come and meet with you? And you talked about getting a photo signed. I know a lot of our guys love getting your photo when they see you at places. Are you at anything this year?
Yeah, I've not booked anything for this year, but hopefully next year stuff will happen again. I was supposed to go to Croydon to some signing over there, but that didn't happen. It got postponed, so it will happen, but I don't know when yet. But if anyone wants like autographed photos or anything, contact me on Instagram, and there's a small charge, but I'll always send them out to people if they ask. And hopefully there's more signings and events this year or next year going on,
Well, Victor, we would, the UK Garrison, the 501st, we would love to bump into you. We were planning on coming and seeing you in February. I think that's the event you were talking about, which didn't happen. We would love to see you, have you comment on our armour. So we look forward to, we will make sure at some point that eventually happens when all this COVID craziness goes. But where can people find you online? You just mentioned Instagram. What is your Instagram?
It's the Botha, official Death Trooper. And just contact me on there. Have a look at it. I haven't posted for a while, but always say, if you send messages or anyone send messages, I always answer back. So I might not post loads, but I will answer questions and messages.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
No worries. I'm always happy to help you guys, and I'm always happy to see you guys making such good armor, and it brings back good memories.
It's excellent. Brilliant. Cheers. Thanks.
All right. Have a good night.